Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Vince McMahon is making headlines yet again. Shit's really catching up to this guy. By the way, this is Retro Kid, Retronic Guy's Cat on the Real News Talk channel. You know what to do. So now, Vince McMahon has stepped down from TKO due to an allegation, a serious allegation of sex trafficking, sexual abuse, physical, emotional, and mental abuse towards a former employee of his named Janel Grant from back in 2019 up to 2021, 2022, one of those years. He's been sued as well, because what happened is that he paid her, he was supposed to pay her $3 million, but instead he paid her $1 million to keep her quiet, to not let the affair go out to the public. And she also signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. But because she didn't get paid in full, she decided to break the code and expose this sick motherfucker, man. Sure. When I heard about this yesterday, I wasn't really surprised. Because whatever you do in the dark comes to light anyway. And I knew that big organizations like the WWE always have some dirt on them. Always. Hollywood, the music industry, they all have dirt on them, man. They all do blood sacrifices, rituals, sexual intercourses, you know, homosexuality, you name it. They do all those things in the industry just to get by. And if you don't comply, you won't get the popularity and the dreams that you wished for. You'll just get thrown in the bin. And now Vince McMahon, shit has catched up to him. Including him allegedly raping this particular employee in his office. Him and John Laurinaitis taking turns on her. And while they were in the office, she begged them to stop, but she was held down. So as she tried to resist, and she was saying no to Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, no meant yes. So they kept going on, meaning that she wanted more. But that wasn't the case. They have literally destroyed this woman's life. I swear to God, if certain people went through what she went through, a lot of them would have committed suicide. Because it's not even the physical abuse, it's the mental abuse that hurts more, and the emotional abuse. She's emotionally scarred for life, mentally scarred, spiritually scarred for life. Physical wounds you can heal from them, but mental, emotional, spiritual, no, you can't heal from that. And I'm sure Vince McMahon has done this to so many other female wrestlers. There's more, but it's just this particular one that managed to stand up against Vince. I'll tell you that right now. Because even certain former ex-WWE employees, right, like Maria Kanellis, she's actually for the allegation against Vince and the WWE. Meaning that she actually knows what's up, because she used to work for Vince and the WWE back in the day. So she knew what goes on backstage. But the ones that he's done it to are too scared to step up to the guy because of the power that's behind him. Don't forget, he's in the same league as Donald Trump Jeffrey Epstein, and them people. So of course, a lot of people are going to be scared to step up to the guy. You know, when you're in position of power and you're on an elite level, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can buy your way out of things. You can actually pay the police to actually scrap the whole thing. Because Donald Trump has been accused of similar things as well. But he got acquitted. So it's a dead case. But with Vince McMahon, I don't know where this one is going to go. You know? Because also, Brock Lesnar was supposed to be in the Royal Rumble as well. But I don't think he's going to be part of the Royal Rumble anymore because he allegedly was part of the whole fucking sex trafficking shit. You get me? That Vince McMahon offered Janel Grant to Brock Lesnar. Basically passing her around. Treating her like a prostitute. I don't know if Brock went along with it. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But somehow, some way, he got caught up in it. Because the woman said that a former UFC champion and fighter was involved. So obviously, that was Brock Lesnar. Because he's the only former UFC champion to be in the WWE. You know, who else could it be? It can't be Ken Shamrock because he was never WWE champion. And he was long gone from the company. You know, it can't be Matt Riddle because he was never UFC champion. So it's Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar was close to Vince. Even during his early days in the WWE when he had his first run. He's a Vince McMahon guy. He was never a Triple H guy. He's a Vince McMahon guy. So if you connect the dots, it all makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But it's a shame though because I really wanted Brock Lesnar to be at the Royal Rumble, to be part of the Royal Rumble match. But now that's not going to happen because of this whole situation. And this could potentially ruin Lesnar's career. If he had some sort of role play in it. You know, he could be blacklisted from the WWE. And that would be very, very sad if his career had to end in such a devastating way. You know, because him being a family man and that and a private person, I don't think he'd be stupid enough to actually go along with the whole sick scenario. But you never know. You never know with these people, man. That's why it's not good to vouch for people that you don't know. Because really and truly, you might see these entertainers as talented, gifted at what they do and that. But we don't really know them. We don't really know the person past the TV. Because everybody on TV is wearing a mask. Everybody's pretending at the end of the day. Because the ones that you don't hear about, right? The ones that you don't hear about, they're not with all this shit. So that's why they don't get promoted. But in order to reach the next level, you got to do some sick shit, man. You got to take part in rituals, blood sacrifices, you name it, man. It's a sick industry. So I wouldn't put it past anybody, to be honest with you. I'm a huge Brock Lesnar fan, I ain't gonna lie. I've been a fan since 2002, since he made his debut. But if it's true that he did do these things, then I'll be very, very disappointed. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll be extremely disappointed. Because Lesnar's the type of guy that's too smart to be doing all these things. But again, you just never know. You don't know who's who at the end of the day, man. I also remember, was it an episode on Dark Side of the Ring when Terry Runnels accused Brock Lesnar of showing his bits, his private parts in the locker room to her. This was back in 2002. But she didn't say anything until years later. I don't know why. Maybe she did say something at that time or near that time, but we didn't know that until years later. So a lot of sick shit goes on behind the scenes, man. I mean, look at Pat Patterson, right? He got accused of molesting Roddy Piper, a young Roddy Piper, back in Piper's early days as a wrestler, when he was in his 20s. I think late teens or early 20s. He got molested by him. And the funny thing is, nobody knew that Pat Patterson was gay until an episode of Legends House, where he exposed himself by telling his fellow co-workers that he's gay. He's actually gay. So that brings an indication that this guy could have possibly molested Roddy Piper. May he rest in peace, Roddy Piper. You know what I mean? The same guy that was in a movie, he starred in a movie called They Live, where you put on the glasses and you can actually see things for what it is. You know? And somewhat 35 years later, we're totally seeing the reality of things, even without the glasses, because the Most High is exposing everything. He's lifting up the devil's skirt, because you can only do bad for so long until shit catches up with you. And this is what has happened to Vince. He's been doing this for well over 30 years, 30 plus years. Sexually harassing his female co-workers, paying them to keep quiet. You know? Hence why he stepped down twice. Because he resigned in 2022 and all of a sudden he decided to come back. I don't know. I don't even know whether he left in the first place. I don't even know if that's true or not. Or maybe he just went for a cool off. He just took a break until things actually died down. And then he decided to slide back into the picture, but only behind the scenes. And now, since TKO has partnered up with WWE and WWE and their content moving to Netflix next year, this whole shit comes up. It's always when things like this progress, then the old shit comes back. You know? They always choose a perfect time, man. You know? 2024 is the year of exposure. A lot of people are getting exposed. And I believe that Cassie was the one who paved the way, again, for women to step up and expose these big celebrity figures like P. Diddy and that. You know? And more people are going to be exposed. I'm telling you that right now. Vince McMahon is not the last person to be that's going to be exposed. More and more people are going to be exposed. Trust me on that one. Look what happened with Chris Jericho last month with the whole Kylie Ray situation. And Tony Khan is actually covering for Jericho and keeping him on a low profile in a way. Even though he's still on TV, but at the same time he's laying low until the whole thing dies down. But it's never going to die down. It's never going to be forgotten because someone will always remember, because not everybody has a short-term memory or short attention span. You understand? So you got to keep that in mind. Because like I said, what's done in the dark will come to light. I'm telling you that right now. So the whole Jericho situation, like I said in my previous video, we don't know until actual solid evidence comes forward and more females speak up against the alleged sexual misconduct of what Jericho did to Kylie Ray. Because Kylie Ray has a history of mental problems. So people with mental issues, people don't really believe them as such because they could be making stuff up in their head, you know, just for their own amusement. So that's the reason why this whole situation has not been taken further and it's just been, you know, swifted under the radar. But the Vince McMahon one is way, way worse. That doesn't compare to the Vince McMahon situation. And you ask yourself, why did Stephanie McMahon leave as soon as Vince McMahon decided to come back? Maybe she knows something. Maybe she knows what her father's like. Maybe she doesn't want nothing to do with her father anymore. And why isn't Shane in the WWE that much? Why hasn't he been active for so long? I'm talking about when he left in 2009 and went away for 7 years. I know he had his own little company, but that didn't go well, so he decided to come back. But he's been on and off. Because his children know something that we don't know. But obviously they're not going to say anything because they, at the same time, they want to protect their father. Which I can understand. But we all know that somebody is going to expose Vince McMahon. Eventually. And now, on January 25th, 2024, shit finally hit the fan. But I'm going to read the following article of this whole matter. In the aftermath of the deeply troubling accusations leveled against him by Janel Grant, Vince McMahon's association with WWE has come to an abrupt end. Nick Khan, the president of WWE, took the initiative to communicate McMahon's resignation to the company's staff on a Friday night. Khan officially conveyed that McMahon has stepped down from his role as the executive chairman of TKO Group Holdings. Furthermore, Khan emphasized that McMahon would no longer have any involvement with either TKO or WWE. Here's the next of Khan's email to the staff. I wanted to apprise you of Vince McMahon's decision to tender his resignation from his positions as the executive chairman of TKO and as a member of the TKO board of directors. He will no longer hold any responsibilities within TKO Group Holdings or WWE. McMahon's resignation comes on the heels of Grant's lawsuit, which was filed a day earlier and contains allegations of physical and emotional abuse, sexual assault, and sex trafficking against him. In response, TKO characterized these allegations as horrific and pledged to address the matter internally. Following his resignation, Vince McMahon issued a statement reiterating his steadfast intent to vigorously refute what he termed as baseless accusations. Okay, so now he's trying to cover his tracks. I stand by my previous statement that Miss Grant's lawsuit is riddled with falsehoods, fabricated incidents that never transpired, and represent a malice distortion of the truth. I am resolute in my determination to defend myself against these groundless charges, and I'm eager to clear my name. Okay, then why did you step down if that was the case? Anyway, nevertheless, out of consideration for the WWE Universe, the exceptional TKO enterprise, its dedicated board members and stakeholders, partners, constituents, and all the employees and superstars who have played a pivotal role in establishing WWE as the global leader it is today. I have chosen to step down from my executive chairmanship and vacate my position on the TKO board of directors effective immediately. Yeah, because you know you're guilty. You're most likely guilty, man, and you know what you did is fucked up. Beyond fucked up, man. In response to the allegations against McMahon, Slim Jim declared on Friday that it would be suspending its sponsorship with WWE. So now sponsorships are withdrawing themselves from the WWE. Man, oh man. Vince McMahon is he's really trying to kill his creation, man. He's trying to kill his creation. Big time. I don't know if it's because he only has a certain amount of years left in this world. So that's why he's trying to cause as much damage as possible, because he only has a short time. But, man, it's crazy, man. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for WWE at all, man. Notably, Janel Grant is a former WWE employee, and her lawsuit names Vince McMahon, WWE, and John Laurinaitis as defendants. This incident marks McMahon's second departure from WWE, the first being in July of 2022 amidst a controversy surrounding hush money payments, which began when WWE's board of directors learned of his settlement with Grant. However, McMahon was the majority shareholder of WWE at that time and managed to reclaim his position in January 2023. That's if he even left in the first place. This time, however, such a return to power is no longer an option following WWE's acquisition by Endeavor in September of the previous year. Vince McMahon's resignation from both WWE and TKO group holdings is a significant development in the world of professional wrestling. How do you think this will impact the future direction of both WWE and TKO? And what changes or shifts in leadership do you anticipate in these organizations in light of McMahon's departure? Well, first of all, it's going to have a great effect. It's going to have a massive effect on the company, because people are not going to look at the company the same ever again. And it's going to deter certain wrestlers from ever wanting to wrestle for the WWE. Or if they were in the past, ever go back there. You know? And who knows why Sasha Banks walked out of the company twice. There could be more to the story than that, because why would she walk out of the company twice? And it's funny because when Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné, walked out of the company in 2022, just a couple of months later, Vince McMahon got exposed for his hush money, keeping women private. I mean, keeping certain women from actually speaking out against him, because he knows what he did, paying them millions of dollars each. Maybe she knows something that we don't know. Maybe there's more to why she left the company the first 2 times. You know? I could be wrong. Or maybe it could be her own personal issues as to why she left. But I know it has something to do with Vince McMahon. And the only reason why she came back is because Vince McMahon persuaded her and gave her false hope and empty promises. So, at this moment, I don't think she's ever going to come back at all. But then again, she could potentially surprise everyone by coming back to the WWE regardless at the Royal Rumble, or she'll make her way and surprise everyone by debuting in AEW. So we're just gonna have to wait and see where she finally stands on that one. But Vince McMahon, you're done out here, man. Thinking it's okay to shove wrestling action figures up a woman's vagina, causing her bruising and bleeding, treating her like a doll, like a sex slave. Man, karma has finally caught up with you, man. It has. The time is up, man. Now Triple H has to pick up the pieces. I know The Rock is the new board of directors of TKO. You know. Which is good, because The Rock has done well for himself. He's come a long way in life. You know. From having no money to playing football to becoming one of the biggest WWE superstars of all time and in the world of pro wrestling, and becoming one of the most popular actors in the world and most successful actors of all time in recent memory. Now he earned himself a position as the board of directors of TKO. So congratulations, Rock. You totally deserve it. So now, with Vince McMahon out the way, the WWE's got some serious cleansing to do. And how are they going to do that? Well, I don't know, but I'm sure they will find a way to clean themselves up. Because right now, with this whole situation, it's not looking good at all. It's not good. For sponsors to actually withdraw themselves from the WWE and distance themselves, it's not a good sign. And Slim Jim's been with the WWE for years. I think for over 30 years. And now, for the first time, they've suspended their sponsorship with the WWE. All because of Vince McMahon. Something just came into my mind. I know I heard somewhere along the line that Vince McMahon has some sort of autism, and the way he was treated as a child, how he grew up, the environment he grew up in was really poor and really bad. Have you ever thought that his troubled childhood could have an effect on his adult life and the decisions that he makes and what he does? and his autism. Could this be the reason why he did what he did? As a way to get back at people for the way they used to treat him in his younger years? We will never know. That's just a theory. That's just my personal theory. That could be. Because what Vince McMahon does is not normal. It's far from normal. You know? He took his real life, he took his character, his Mr. McMahon character, right, into the real world and took it to a whole nother level. Because we all know what his character's like and the way he gets down with women and that. That's just a carbon copy of what he's really like in real life, or what he does with the women behind closed doors. What he does on TV is nothing compared to what he does behind closed doors. Because the amount of text messages that he allegedly sent to this woman is so sick that I can't even say what he said on here in those messages that he sent to her. It is proper disgusting, man. That's like mental, physical slavery right there. He literally enslaved this woman. Mad thing, mad thing, mad thing. All I can say is that Vince McMahon, he's totally done. And as for Brock Lesnar, I don't know how this will affect his career, but for him to be cancelled from the Royal Rumble, it's not a good sign. And this could very well be the end of his career, if the whole thing is true. And if he did have any involvement in it at all. John Laurinaitis, he's done anyway. He's done. He looks like a creep anyway, just by looking at his face, man. We haven't seen or heard anything from the guy since. So, looks as if he's gone into complete hiding. And Vince McMahon, you're almost 80 years old, man. It's game over for you. So, that's all I gotta say. The guy that revolutionized sports entertainment 40 years ago after his father passed away. Vince McMahon did take WWE to a whole another level. He's the first person to turn wrestling into sports entertainment. Because without Vince McMahon, wrestling wouldn't be what it is today. There would be no competition in wrestling. None of that would exist. So he did well in that part. But for the shit that he did behind the scenes, nah. That's fucked up, man. You know. Don't think because you did something years ago that it won't catch up with you later on in life. And that's what's happened to Vince. So, I really hope Triple H does make the company a better company and a more safer environment for his workers. Because this is a new age right now. And with social media and everything, shit gets leaked out faster than lightning. But yeah, anyway, I have nothing more to say. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you still support Vince McMahon for what he did? Or are you totally against what he did? Which you should be anyway. Because if you support such things, then you're just as bad as him. Anyway, it's the Retro Kid, Retronica Cat on the Real News Talk channel. Say no more.